Last episode, we built this base, and this base is kind of a big base, and there's a lot of space that we need to be filling up. We've got all of this space here, which I've decided is going to be kind of like where our storage room is, and you know, that kind of thing. Like maybe we'll have a museum, you know, it'll be like the usual things you have inside of a base, and down here we're going to have our farms and all that. But we need a room to be able to get inside of our farms, which is what we're going to be building today. You can see I've started laying out a circle here. What am I talking about? This isn't a circle. So we're going to be building it on this little stone platform, which I've marked out as just kind of a rough guideline of how big I want it to be. It's going to be a bit smaller. You know, it's just an estimate. And handy enough, right here lurking in the shadows are these green shulker boxes full of materials which I've collected up for this build. You can see we're using a lot of different kind of gradients, but you can see we're using even melons in here. We're using a lot of like purples, we're using some stone kind of colors, some grays, and for the ceiling, well, we're using spruce slabs. So let me mark out what the gradients look like, and then we'll get building them. So this right here is our first gradient. It's very green, it's meant to look very natural. These gradients are meant to represent different farms that we're building. These farms are meant to represent natural stuff. So in this section of the base, we might have moss farms, and we might have bamboo farms, and melon farms. You know, this isn't necessarily the farms we're going to be building. This is just examples. The next gradient is this right here. And obviously these gradients are going to be scaled up quite a lot, but we've got this one right here. This one's a little harder to tell because I kind of just thought this was a cool gradient, but it's meant to represent different things that we can smelt. Like we can smelt the terracottas, we smelted this into sandstone, you can smelt sand into glass, you know, and that kind of stuff. So in this section of the base, we might have like a super smelter, or some kind of like bulk storage of like coal, or carpet dupers for fuel, you know, that kind of stuff. Then we've got something more like this, which is a bit of a bigger gradient, which I think looks quite cool. And obviously this represents the nether, so we might have like a brewing room or somewhere that we can brew potions. And finally, this is another big one, which is just our kind of cave looking one. So in this one, we'll have farms for stuff like stone, basically, and maybe dripstone, because that can also be found in caves. But those are the kind of gradients that we're going to be having. And so my thinking is that on this side we'll have one gradient, this side will have one gradient, that side will have another, and finally that side will have another. So on all four sides we will have a different gradient, with doors in the middle of each of the sides connecting to the different farms. And this area is where all the farms are going to be. You know, we have all of this space to use for that, since up there is where we'll have our storage. So why don't we just get started building the nature gradient? And so this is what I've come up with. As you can see, you can now start to get a sense of scale, and it is actually quite tall, but it's not like massive or anything. I think it looks quite good, but I do want to add some more details in here. So I've got a couple of blocks here, you know, we're just going to add some like bamboo around the place. I've got some like walls and pressure plates. All of these blocks are going to be the decoration stuff for all of these. And yeah, let's just do that real quick, and I'll bring you back in a second. See, and with some little added details, it does look quite nice in here. You know, I mean, it's not perfect, and it's gonna look so much better when you see all the other four areas here. What is that Enderman doing? He better not be stealing any blocks. But with shaders as well, with all the little lighting we added, it looks very nice. But let's move on to the super smelter area. And that is the second one, which I think looks equally as nice as the first one. I kind of like it a bit more. The gradient works better. However, I don't think it really shows super smelter vibes, but it's a cool gradient that I wanted to use, especially with shaders. The magma. I'm trying to add like a little light block in all of them so they kind of pop a lot, and I'm really getting that. It looks very nice. On to our third one, which is this one. This is kind of our never themed one, which is where we'll have kind of like a brewing room inside it. I think this is looking really nice so far. I mean, like, I really like the palettes. It's really coming together. We do have some mobs spawning up there, so, I mean, that is a bit of an issue, but we'll have a roof on there, so it's not that big of a deal. Now let's bring our attention to this side right here. And now the cave section is done. And I actually really like this section as well. I mean, out of all of them, it's probably my least favorite, just because, I don't know, there's something about it just doesn't look too good. Now that we're done with these 4 sections for the most part, we've got to add this little roof in here. And it's going to be a diagonal roof, which is going to be interesting. But I'm sure it will look fine. It's just going to take a very long time to build. And just like that, we are finally done with this roof. And it's looking nice. If we just break that, we fall down here, you can see it in all of its glory. It's very nice, but obviously, it's even nicer with shaders. It's so nice in here now, but there are still some gaps here and there, because we still need to add in the doorways to go to the farms, and we still need to add in the pathways down here. I don't know if I was recording that, but what the actual heck? Well, that's unfortunate. I came up here to place torches. Oh my gosh. And 2 creepers blew this up, and 1 creeper just blew that up. What the heck? Well, using a mod called Mini HUD, I can see what's not lit up. And we can light this all up right here. And with some pathways in here and some of the doors, they are very small, skinny little doors, so I'm thinking these doors will open up to a pretty big room, because we've got enough space for that. But overall, I am very happy with this build. I think I messed up counting how many blocks I would need, because I've got a lot left over, and I should definitely not have this much. I've tried to record this clip 5 times, maybe 6 now, and every single time, for some reason in OBS, my mic just won't do audio. I don't know why, but anyway, this is kind of nearing the end of the video because we've done quite a lot off camera. As you can see right here, besides that build there, this is our little area for our bamboo farm. I quite like it. I used a lot of leaves in here, but if we look in this chest, boom, bamboo, because I built a bamboo farm off camera, and I think it is over here somewhere. That's where the bamboo comes in, and then it just comes into this chest. It's very, very simple, but yeah, so this is our little section for the bamboo farm. Over here is where we'll have sections for the cactus and sugarcane farm, and yeah, I quite like it. I used a lot of different kind of little blocks, but obviously we're going to expand this little room, and do more of like a ceiling and stuff, so you don't see the cave out there. I guess now we're hopping into free cam. What are we doing? Oh yeah, we're looking at the bamboo farm. So it's very simple. I've just got 4 different modules. The observer triggers the pistons, which basically just trigger the bamboo. They all go down into this little water stream down there. They go into a couple of hoppers, and then if I would show you, I don't know what I'm doing right now, but they all go into a water stream and go into some different pipes which go into that chest. But I hope you have all enjoyed today's video. I know it was a bit slower paced than usual, but I'm going to be trying to do that a little bit more now. I might still do a couple fast paced little edits here and there, nothing too fast paced like I was doing. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this little room and this room and the bamboo farm we built. If you want to see next episode, we're going to be building our sugarcane and cactus farm and decorating those, then subscribe for that, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.